Father said, mentioned that I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to share my story to you guys. And for the next year or so, you guys will be seeing me very often because Christ Church will be my SPM church, which is Supervised Parish Ministry, where as a seminarian, you are required to settle at one of the local church around and to serve every Sunday. And that aspect is preaching, community outreach, pretty much everything that needs to be done at the church. And Father Seth is leading me through this. Before I begin with my story, I just wanted to say that over the week, because I wanted to put together pictures for you guys so you can actually not only hear me talking about everything that I've done and what my life was about, but also to actually have a visualization to see actual pictures. And when I actually opened my drive to look at pictures, I had over 30,000 pictures to go through. So I said to myself, it will be very hard to kind of like choose the right. No, we're not. Because I had to actually figure it out which one would be best to show. And so what I want to do this morning is basically I want to go briefly give you my story, and then after that I can show you the pictures, and then after the pictures you will have time to ask questions. So to begin with, my name is Wes Dubic. It's actually Wesley Dubic. I was born in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and grew up until I moved to the U.S. when I was 16 years old. Grew up in a Episcopalian family. My grandpa was actually, because Haiti is a very poor country, there's not enough priests to go around all the churches to cover all the churches. So one priest may have 3 to 4 parish they are overseeing. So it will probably be months before they actually see their priest. So each church will be assigned a caretaker. So, and those caretakers will be the ones that take care of the priest while the priest is away. And that's what my grandfather did. He did this for many, many years. And that's how my whole family on my dad's side became Episcopalian. So I have, and from my dad's side, I have 4 uncles and 11 aunts. So it's a large family. So imagine everyone was an Episcopalian. And from there, when my dad met my mom, she was a Roman Catholic. And then when she married my dad, she became an Episcopalian as well. So, and with the whole family. And then when they started settling down to have their family, all of us, because I have 5 siblings, we all became Episcopalian as well. So we used to go to a church that's called the Cathedral of Saint Trinity, Holy Trinity. That's in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And that's where I was confirmed, baptized, confirmed. And this was my home church. And I'll show you a few pictures from that church. And my dad was a well-known artist in Haiti. And what I mean by well-known artist, he used to paint. And so he used to travel the world to exhibit his painting, going like to France, United States, and several other countries. But what happened is that my mom, she was a high school teacher. So in late 1999, they figured out that because of the current situation in Haiti, things were not getting any better. And because they wanted to give their children a better world. Because in Haiti, you may go to college, you go to university, but after you're done with university, there's no job. So they decided to move to the U.S. And we moved to the U.S., And after that, we actually moved to New York. We live in Long Island, New York for a couple of years, but you have to understand, coming from a Caribbean countries, and then we start getting that cold weather, we were like, nah, that's not gonna work. So we moved to Orlando, Florida, and then we've been living in Orlando, Florida ever since. So living in Orlando, Florida, I love Orlando, Florida because, we had family there, but as a kid, one of the things that interested me was Disney World. So it was just like, yeah, we'll move into Orlando. So we moved to Orlando, and from there, my parents decided that they wanted to find an Episcopal church to go to. So since we used to go to the cathedral in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Holy Trinity, we started looking at about churches that we wanted to go in Orlando. So we find out that the cathedral was downtown Orlando called St. Luke Cathedral, and then that's where we started attending the church. We've been going to St. Luke Cathedral since 2005, and that's been our home church ever since. What can I say? St. Luke it's a home parish that is very dear to my heart because it's basically where I grew up. Everything that I've done in my life, it was because of my connection with St. Luke. But unfortunately, something has happened with my parents. You have to understand, coming to a different country, you are not speaking the language. They did not know English very well. It was very hard for them to worship at the cathedral. So they had to branch out to go to different churches where they can actually worship in French or Creole. So Central Florida does not have, at the time, they did not have an Episcopalian service for the community, of Haitian community. So they branched out. They started attending a Baptist church, which was a Haitian Baptist church. As my dad said, he always said, I'm an Episcopalian for life, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So that's where him and my mom started attending. But my siblings, once they graduated from college, two of my sisters decided to move back to New York, and the rest of them stayed in Florida. Like I said, I have 5 siblings, and I'm kind of like the middle child. I'm the third of them. I have 2 older sisters, and 2 after me, and my little brother is the last one. And so everybody moved that. So I was the only one that stayed at the cathedral. The cathedral became my parish. And around 2007, that's when I actually started serving at the church, meaning that, they asked me to be part of the acolyte. Being part of the acolyte, from the acolyte, you started like, oh, I love what I do. Because churches, to be able to be part of the church, I always felt this call. And or can I say that, like, Sundays, when we were in Haiti, on Sunday, church was the thing that the Dubic family, that's what we do. We always pack inside our van, and then my dad is driving us to church. That's what we do on Sunday. So it was always in my heart I have to be at someplace, somewhere, worshiping the Lord on Sunday. And so I have to say that, but going back to Haiti, there's something very specific that happened when I was 9 years old, sitting at the cathedral in Holy Trinity in Port-au-Prince. During the service, I don't know why I remember this, but I remember vividly because it's something that to this day now I understand why I'm in this path. I was sitting in the pew. I was 9 years old, sitting in the pew, and then service is going on at the church. And during communion, I'm looking at the priest up front. And during the elevation, And then when he's elevating the bread, and then I was sitting in there, and then the priest was reciting the words, and then I looked, and then I said, I want to do that. And when I said to myself, I want to do that, it's like there was a voice that said to me, but why? And I could not answer it, and I said, I don't know, but I want to do that. I said, that was it. That's it. There was no question at all what else, and so that was it. And fast forward a number of years that now I'm at the Cathedral of Orlando to figure it out that God basically was paving the way for me to this track that I am today. Because after I graduated high school, I never actually had a sense of what exactly I wanted to do. People always ask me like, so what do you want to do, Wes? My parents were like, what career do you want? I was like, I don't know. So I went to college, graduated from college, and they're still asking me, so have you made a decision? I'm like, no. After I obtained my AA, I have my associate in art. And then I said, like, I don't know. But all I know, I want to do something to help people. That's what I want to do. They said, like, okay, all right, so what does that mean? I said, like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. After I graduated from college, because I know that I had the sense in me just like, I want to serve people. So I said, like, okay, maybe I am called to work as an EMT. So I went through the process to become an EMT. From EMT, I started working when I graduated, and then I became an EMT for the state of Florida because of my constant interaction with firefighters that gave me the desire to go a little bit further. So from EMT, I transitioned to the program. I said, like, I want to be a firefighter. So in 2007, I became a firefighter for the state of Florida because I'm like, okay, yes, I love what I do, but that's not it yet. Because there's something about me just like you're going to help people at their worst, but for me there was something else that's missing. And now I figured out that it was the spiritual aspect. Yes, I had this urge of, let me help as much people that I want, but it's just like, that's not it. And then as a firefighter, I was like, this is not it yet. Maybe I'm called to become a nurse. Let me try to see, like, maybe so I started the program to become a nurse, and then halfway through, I was like, nah, that's not it. And one of my good friends at the time when I obtained my undergraduate and bachelor, one of my good friends said to me that, like, Wes, my job is actually hiring, so would you work for my company? And then I said, like, yes, since I have undergraduate in business, so I became a contractor for this company. The company is called Fresenius Kidney Care. So it's one of the largest company in the U.S. providing dialysis throughout the whole United States. So I became a contractor for the company. My job was to go around Central Florida, all the hospitals in Central Florida that needed to set up their dialysis unit. So I'll be traveling I ranged from Tampa all the way to Daytona Beach. So I was traveling all throughout all the hospitals providing dialysis for these companies. And throughout this whole process, the Lord was still working in me because while I was doing, was my professional life, but there was one thing that was always in my heart, is continue to help people. And as a contractor, I was fortunate enough to be able to set up my schedule, to let everybody when I want to work, when I do not want to work. So that freed my time to be able to do things that needed to be done. So that's the reason why I was very involved in my community. thinking about like the Christian Service Center, Salvation Army, Compassion Corner. There's so many organizations that was in downtown Orlando and beyond that was helping the poor, helping the people that are going through much in their life. Any place you go, you ask, people will say like, oh, we know Wes. Wes is taking care of this side. Wes is working with this aspect, because that was what I believe that was in my heart. And I was like doing the best. It's just like when I'm in that, you stretch yourself so thin that you were giving so much, but I did not care because I was doing what I love. People were like, where do you find time to do so much? I was like, I don't know, but when you're doing something you love, it doesn't matter. You don't put a time to it. And from there, in 2007, a good friend of mine asked me, because my church was taking a missionary trip to Honduras. And then 2005, like my friend said, asked me, he said like, his name is Mark Sears, and he said, Wes, I would love for you to join our group to go to Honduras. And you know, the first thing I said, nah, I'm okay. I don't want to go to Honduras. Why do you want me to go to Honduras? But he was like, no, just come and see what we do. And I remember specifically I said to him, I don't have anything to offer. You know, you need people with knowledge, people that can actually do something. Why? I don't have anything to offer to these people. Why you want to take me to Honduras? And he said like, because I know you will be a good addition to our group. So come with us. I was like, no. I kept saying no, but he spent like a week texting me, asking me like, you know, have you made a decision? You know, I'm telling him like, okay, I'll be praying about it to see if it's something that the Lord wants me to do. And then I did pray about it, and it was just like, I felt like the call is like, just go. It's not gonna hurt. Just go to see what exactly this whole mission trip is about. And I did. Next time I met my friend Mark, and I told him, I said like, okay, I remember specifically telling him like, you want me to be a burden for you for a week? I'll be a burden for you because there's nothing for me to do. I'm not gonna be able to help you on anything. You need people with, when I met him, I thought he needed doctors, you know, nurses, people that can actually help. And why you want me? And he said like, just come and see. I said like, okay. So we made the process, well, bought my airfare, traveled to Honduras, and I remember we were going to San Pedro Sula. San Pedro Sula is the second largest city in Honduras. And I remember when the pilot was prepping the cabin that we were about to land, and they said, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to land, this and that. And then I picked up the window, and then all I saw was fields of bananas as far as the eyes can see. I'm like, we're landing where? And then to find out later on, it's where Chiquita Banana get most of their bananas for the U.S. I mean, like, it was plantation of bananas as far as you can see. And then once we landed in Honduras, third world country, there's only one gate. You gotta wait for this plane to deplane and then move the plane, get another one, and sometimes they have to put a little stairs on the plane for you to get down, and really hot, humid, and I mean like chaotic inside the airport. You're like, okay, where exactly do we have to go? Where's immigration? Where's my bag? I mean like, it was just chaos. And the group home that we were going sent a bus to pick us up because we have a good connection. The cathedral in Orlando have a good connection with a group home for girls in San Pedro Sula. They've been going there for decades. And then when I got inside the bus, the whole group got inside the bus with all the chaos. I mean, it was just, oh my gosh. So I'm sitting in the bus and I'm just taking it in because, you know, one thing that I realized that something is very similar. As I'm driving to the street of San Pedro Sula, filled with potholes, there's no lights at the intersection. It was just a mess. When we get at a intersection that has a working light, we have kids with a little bottle of water. They poke a hole on top of it and then trying to squeeze it on your window so they can wash it for you, so you can give them a little bit of money. And I realized there I was like, okay, maybe I have something to share with Honduras. Because I did not know Haiti and Honduras are the two poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. So what I was able to witness in Haiti is pretty much what's going on in Honduras. So I knew there that like, okay, maybe I have something. So we drove into the compound for the group home for the girls, and we usually stayed there for like a week, where we'll do any type of project with them, VBS, anything that could make those girls feel special, anything that can make them like, wow, there's other people that loves me. Because most of these girls come from really poverty, or they were abused, or they come from situation that is very horrible, and a group home will take them. It's about like 65 of them. That's the max capacity that the group home can handle. And they're always at maximum capacity. They are able to stay in that home until they are 18, and then they give them the choice. Either they want to go to university, or if they want to stay more to go to university, or go to see their parents if they decide to go to there. It depends. Every their cases are different. And then we used to go there every year. The cathedral made a commitment every year they will go to, the group home is called Our Little Roses, to go to Our Little Roses. Every year we kept going to Our Little Roses. Every year we kept going to Our Little Roses. It's kind of like we get out from the airport, get inside the bus, drive to the street of San Pedro Sula, go inside the compound, gates shut, we're in there for a week. That's it. And it felt like for me that we're driving to San Pedro Sula, seeing the devastation, the poverty, but once we go to the gate of Our Little Roses and the gate shut, it's basically like that's a different world. We do not worry about what's out there. And I remember one year, asking one of the leaders for the trip, I said, what are we doing for these kids that are outside? Because the reason why I said that is while we are inside the compound, there's fun, music, the kids are laughing, there's joy. But outside the compound, because we have tall trees outside the compound, on top of those trees, usually we have other kids that are on top of the tree trying to pick on the inside to see what exactly that was going on the inside. And it broke my heart. I kept saying to myself, like, what are we doing for these kids? So I asked the leader, so what are we doing? Every year we come here, but we're not doing anything for them. And then she said to me, you know what, Wes? Unfortunately, Honduras has a lot of issues, but we can only focus to what we have right now. I know in her heart, that's all she could have said because, there's a lot to do. But for me, I did not want to, that was not the right answer. So when I got back into the state, so I started asking in my diocese that I wanted to do more. I wanted to reach out more people in Honduras. And he said to me like, okay, Wes, then in the diocese office, every third Thursday, we have a group that's called the Central Florida Honduras Commission. And you can go there, and then you can ask questions about how you can serve. I said, okay. So one third Thursday, I showed up at the diocese office, and I said, I'm here for the meeting. I said, are you, they said, I just want to get more information. And they said, okay, this will be the room. And then I went into the room, and there was a large table with several people sitting around it, and then I opened the door. I said, like, I would love to get more information about Honduras. And then they said, have a seat, sir. So that's how I became a member of the Central Florida Honduras Commission. At the time, the Central Florida Honduras Commission was led by Reverend Comforted King. He was the chairman for the Honduras Commission for over a decade. And he's done so many great things for Honduras and the Diocese of Central Florida. Basically, what is the mission of the Central Florida Honduras Commission is to strengthen our relationship with the Diocese of Honduras. In 1973, when Hurricane Fifi struck the Diocese of Honduras, there was a lot of devastation. And that's when Central Florida rose up. All the churches rose up and said, we're going to help our brothers and sisters in Honduras. And that's how this relationship started. So now, over this past 50-something years, there's this great relationship between both dioceses. Several churches have a type of relationship with another church in Honduras. And it's been a great relationship. It's one of the longest Anglican relationship in the Anglican Church. And it's been an amazing relationship. I just say that I'm blessed that we have the chance to help our brothers and sisters in Honduras. And in 2015, while I was a member, Father Comforted said, Wes, I know how you are on fire for the diocese, and I feel like it's time for me to retire. So I would love for you to become the new chairman for the Honduras Commission. And I was like, me? I was like, yes. I was like, what do I have? And he said, like, you have all the gift to lead this commission. And I said, like, okay, if that's God's plan, then let it work out. So for the next 2 years, I became the co-chairman, so pretty much to lead. And I think it's like late 16, early 17, the commission voted me to become the new lead, the chairman for the Honduras Commission. So been there since then. I've been leading the commission ever since. It's basically, I do exactly what Comforted was saying, is to strengthen this relationship. But I met the Bishop of Honduras, which is Lloyd Allen, and when I became the chairman, he said one thing for me. He said, Wes, I know you for a while because of all the work you've done, but I want you to read this book. So he gave me a book that's called When Helping Hurts. And he said, read this book because that's what I would love to do for my people. For the past 50 years, the Diocese of Honduras has been dependent of foreigners or people that come in. I would love my people to start breaking away from this cycle of dependency because of, like, it is true. It's just like the people always waiting for us to do something for them. And I was like, okay. He said, like I said, he said, stop bringing the fish to them. Teach them how to fish. Teach them how to fish so they can be able to do something for themselves. And that's exactly what I've done for the past since I became the chairman. It's just like to teach the people of Honduras how to stop this dependency of always waiting for us to do something. Because I've seen what NGOs have done in Haiti. Yes, they are coming to help, but it's because it becomes to a cycle of dependency. So my focus as the chairman for Honduras is to help programs with micro enterprise, savings and education, building school, anything that can do to provide something for the people so they can learn and then take care of the greater community. So they don't always be waiting on us to be like, because I went to a town, literally, and to actually call, because we have a program that we follow, which is ABCD, Asset-Based Community Development, where we go to the community where we actually teach the people how to become independent. My friend went to that town, and then we were sitting there, and then we called the leaders to explain to them how we're going to develop an asset-based community development. And we go sat down, and it's like, okay, what does that mean? Don't you see, we are a bunch of poor people. What exactly do you think we have to offer? And then we realized at that moment we had to break it down for them to see exactly what was our mission. So we said, when someone is sick in the community, who do you guys go see? Because it's a poor town. There's no hospital. Everybody have to fend for themselves. They say, like, when somebody is sick, what do you guys do? We go see this lady right here. She's really good at preparing some type of remedy whenever they are sick. Say, like, okay, when somebody needs to go to town because the closest town may be 3 hours, how do you guys do that? Well, we asked this gentleman. He always has his bus. Early in the morning, he would drive to town to work, and then later in the evening, he'd drive back. Okay, so when somebody die in a community, how do you guys handle this? We'll go see this lady right here. She's really good at comforting, preparing things for that person through their hardship of losing someone. And then we explain to them that these are your assets. We want to take every single one of these assets to build upon them so we can offer something to the community. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, maybe we have something. There was a gentleman that was sitting up front. He had a machete, and then he stood up, and then he was like, okay, for the first time in my life, somebody made me feel that I'm worth something. So this is our mission. This is my mission. This is what I work with the Diocese of Honduras, to project that aspect that God loves them. Every single one of the people have something to offer. And it's not about, oh, I'm poor, I'm poor, I'm poor. No, you have to show the people that they have a gift. You have to show the people that they were worth something. You have something to offer to the community. By funding things like microfinance, savings and education, I've seen how these projects are able to help a lot of people. We started with groups with 3 girls or 4 ladies. In the next month, 2 months, 3 months, this group may turn to like 25 ladies, 50 ladies, where we have to break them now into 2 groups. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but when I work with the ladies, they are very good at sharing it to the community. But when you teach one man, he keeps it for himself. He's like, I don't care about nobody else. It's all about me. So usually when we have ladies into our group, we are like, okay, we know this lady it's gonna help the whole community. And from there, that's what I love to do. And to this process, I keep time. This process is, in 2019, my bishop Gregory Brewer, we were celebrating, the diocese was celebrating our 50th anniversary. Because you have to understand, through this whole process, people always ask me, they're like, Wes, you never thought about becoming an ordained person? I'm like, no, I pray about it. I say, like, God has people that are more qualified than me, people that can actually do something for the church, not me. Me, I'm okay what I'm doing. But people kept asking, telling me, think about this, man. Think about it, because I've seen that you have a gift that it's going to be good. God can use it. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I have to say, like, I ran away from this call for decades. For decades, I ran away from this call. I filled my head with this thing saying, like, I'm not worthy. God cannot use me. There's other people that are qualified, people that can bless the church, but not me. When I mean I fill my head with these thoughts, I just like, no, it's not me. I'm not called for this. In 2019, when Bishop Gregory Brewer asked me, he said, like, Wes, since you are the head for the Central Florida Honduras Commission, I would love for you to speak during our convention and give an update, to let the people know how this relationship has been. I'm like, whoa, you want me to do what? They said, like, yeah, I'd love for you to do this. I said, and once a bishop calls, you got to answer. You can't say no. I said, okay, Bishop, I'll do what I need to do. So I was really anxious because I did not know what to say. So I did exactly what I don't know to do. I just prayed to God. I said, like, Lord, I'm going to write a speech. I don't know exactly what's going to come out of this, but I hope it is something that you can bless. Wrote my speech, and during convention, we had a delegation from Honduras that came to celebrate with us, and Bishop Brewer said, "Are you ready, Wes?" And I was like, "I'm okay." And then he said, "Okay, I'm gonna make an announcement, and then I'm gonna call you up." I said, like, "All right." So went in and he made an announcement, and then after that he said, "Now I'm gonna call Wes with the delegation of Honduras to come up and to give us a report about what it's been like for the past 50 years, its relationship with the Diocese of Honduras." And I went up with my speech in my hand and went put it on the podium, and then I started reading it, and I blacked out. I blacked out in a way that it's not like that I stopped talking. My mind was still talking, but what was written in my speech was not exactly what was in my speech later. It was basically I was speaking from the heart. Because I remember talking about something about the Jesus movement, this, that. And then in my mind, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not in your speech. And yes, so I did. And then once I was done, you're looking at a room with 500 people. It could be intimidating, exactly what you have to say that make those people feel like, wow, we've done something for the past 50 years. And when I was done, everybody started applauding. I finally woke up and said, oh, I guess I said something right. So I stepped back. Everybody's applauding. I stepped back. Now, Bishop Allen was there at the time. Bishop Allen went to the podium because he had something else to say. And then I stood behind him, and then I said, okay, Lord, maybe I have something to say to your people. And I'm going to start listening. I'm gonna listen to you to see where that leads me. And then from there, it was just cascading process where went to the diocese office, started asking questions about like, okay, I would love to more information about the ordained ministry. They invited me to the commission of ministry. It's like a meeting they have once a year where they invite anyone that's interested into ministry to come. It's like a 2-day meeting. Went there, got my application. Even though I had this application a long time ago, it was sitting in my house, so now I had to get a new application and filled it out. I'm just like, I'm gonna see where this takes me. I don't have any, I'm not taking keeping any great result. Let's see what happened from this. Because I went through this process with this whole thing, because you have so many committees to go in front of, you have so many people to meet, because it's a rigid process, because those people want to actually see if this call is truly for you. And then every time I go in front of a committee and I'm sitting there and just, I just laid my story. I just tell them about my story. And sometimes I'll be thinking like, okay, if somebody said like, oh, we don't feel this call, I say, good. Now I can go back doing what I love to do. But everybody kept saying, keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And then I'm like, okay, Lord, doors keep opening up, then if that's your will, I'm going to keep moving forward. And with this whole process of praying, and it's just like, wow, this is amazing. And when I became a postulate for the diocese, to tell you the truth, like, I thought I was going to start as a seminarian this fall of this year, of 2023. But in summer of 2023, my diocese said, like, we want you to start seminary in fall 2022. I'm like, what? And it's like, yes, because Bishop Brewer about to retire. We're going to have a new bishop, leadership change. There's usually there's going to be a lot of breaks. You're going to stop a lot of people. So we would love for you to start seminary. I said, like, okay. So summer of 2022, I started going around and visiting seminary. Virginia, Sewanee, and then I came to Nashotah, and something spoke with me with Nashotah. And I remember, and then I think it just worked out well. The dean for Nashotah, Dean Anderson, actually, he came to my church without even knowing, just to give a presentation about Nashotah. And I was like, okay, if it's not God, I don't know what else to say. So I came to Nashotah to visit, and I just fell in love for the place. Fell in love for Wisconsin, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. I said, like, okay, I went to my diocese. I said, like, I think I'm going to Nashotah, and they said that's a good choice, because it spoke with me because when I was in Haiti, I attended a Catholic boys' school, and then I know this process of rigid prayer in the morning, prayer. I felt like we were always praying at the school, and so it spoke with me to be able to go to Anglican Catholic seminary, and yes, so in less than a month, I quit my job that I was working for over a decade, got out of my lease, packed up everything or gave up what I don't need, packed everything in the back of my car, and I was driving to Wisconsin. And everybody said, like, how are you able to do this in 2 months? Well, I'm saying, like, well, when you're a single guy, what else do you want me to have? I don't know how to do this. I flow with the wind. So I drove to Wisconsin to become a seminarian, and yeah, it was just amazing. I'm glad that I'm at Nashotah House, and last year, like you guys know, that after visiting about 5 churches around the area, and another seminarian at Nashotah, and none of them, the other ones, spoke with me. And then she said to me, you need to go visit Christ Church. I think it will be it will be a good church for you. And then I walked into Christ Church one Sunday looking for a church because I was already planning about my SPM. And I went in Christ Church, and then I was like, okay, especially when I saw, like, doing an announcement, there's a large group of kids walking out. I'm like, okay, this church got something going on, because none of the other churches were like this. So I said, there's something going on. You can actually see there's families were attending this church. And then I was like, okay, that's where I want to be. A church that is moving forward, a church that's doing something in the community. If there's so many kids, which means there has to be a lot of young parents. If they are willing to be here, it's because there's something amazing that they are getting, an opportunity that they are getting here that nowhere else. I said, it has to be here. And started talking to you. Father said, Father said, please think about me to do my SPM here. And then he's like, okay, Wes, we'll think about it. So it has been a joy. It has been a joy for me to be here. And I'm glad to be here with you guys for the next year or so, to learn from you guys, but also to be what Christ has called me to do in this world, to be his presence to you guys. And yeah, I want to keep it at this point right now. So let me go ahead and show you some of the pictures, and I'll give you a bit of background. And after that, we can go to question if you guys have any question. Okay, this is the family, the Dubic family. Mom and dad in the middle. My two elder sisters, and then my two youngest one, and my brother beside me. Mom and dad. Those are I see all of us. That's for my sister's wedding. This is the cousins. Dad with my nephews and my niece. Okay, this is what's the church in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Holy Trinity, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. That was the sanctuary at the Holy Table. That was the organ. Holy Trinity had the largest organ in the whole Caribbean country. But unfortunately, because of the earthquake that happened, like this whole thing it's lost. Okay, this is the part of the acolyte that I was part of in St. Luke. Richard Clark is the acolyte in charge of the acolytes, and that is there. That's me serving, doing the Advent service at the cathedral. And serving at the Pentecost service. That's me doing that was the ordination. With Libby Garfield. Libby Garfield graduated this year at Nashotah and became a priest. That was for her ordination. And acolyte guild outside. All of us. Okay, every year we try to take our acolyte gear to the National Acolyte Festival in Washington, D.C. So that's them right here. That's them inside the National Cathedral. And that was the last service that I was with for the graduate. Those graduates are part of the Acolyte Guild. So that was my last service before I came to Nashotah. And then we had a visit from Michael Curry. This is Mark Sears. Mark Sears is the guy that invited me to come to Honduras. And that's him and I. All right, this is the group, the very first trip I took to Honduras. That was the group. I think that was the following year. And that was the third year. And that's me with some of the girls at the group home. They love soccer, so we always playing soccer with them. All right, that's me. I was doing an acolyte training in Honduras. And this one for the Honduras convention, the diocese convention. So since I was representing Central Florida, so that's why I was attending there. And these are the micro-enterprise, some of the micro-enterprise ladies that we are supporting. This lady had, call it balleras, something like this. And then this is the gentleman right here. This is Father Reverend Comforted. He was the one that was in charge of the Central Florida Honduras Commission. That's Bishop Allen. And a group of us, we were in Honduras talking about a future project that needed to be done. These two girls are the first two girls that we supported. They are from Honduras. We supported them to come get in their graduate at St. Augustine University of North Carolina. So those are the two girls, the first two girls that we supported. And after them, we had all the other girls, and those are the other ones that we supported as well. And this microfinance group, and me with the Bishop Allen, the Bishop of Honduras. More finance group. This is the first school, medical school that we built in a town called Siguatepeque. It's a school that's offering first aid and training ladies and men in the community to become CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant. Not actual nurse itself, but it helped them. That was the group that was there to do the work. And some of the students. That's me with Bishop Gregory Brewer in Honduras. And this is every year we try to have a table at our diocese convention to promote Honduras relationship, parish to parish. That's me in 2019 at Curry and Bishop Brewer came to Central. That was for our 50th anniversary. Okay, this is me serving with Christian Service Center. When we reached that many meals served, we were happy. And then that's the work crew. And so I usually partner with this work crew to do work that we have to do in Central Florida. And we were renovating a house when the hurricane, I forgot which hurricane hit Puerto Rico, and there was a house that needed renovation to help the people that were coming from Puerto Rico, and that's what this group was doing. And completely missed this. So one of the things that I needed to tell you, like in 2020, I started offering a French service in Central Florida because I wanted to offer this to my brothers and sisters that cannot worship in their own language. So I partnered with a Haitian church that came to Central Florida to see, can we offer something in French and Creole to our brothers, and then to our brothers and sisters, and say, like, yeah, if you want to work more, we will do it. So yes, this is the first group we started having. That's me serving at a baptism for the Haitian service. So in the morning, I will serve at the cathedral, and then after that, I will serve at the Haitian church in the evening. And this is us, my dad serving at the church, and the priest, mom and dad. That was the choir. They were singing at the consecration of the new bishop that we have, Bishop Justin. And that was it. So now, if you guys have any question, I know I went through this really fast, but thank you.
Ask it on the mic so the people who are watching this at home can hear. Yep.
Can you give us the name of the book for development?
It's called When Helping Hurts.
Can you email it to me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your favorite, besides all of the prayer at Nashotah House, what else do you really like about being at that seminary?
It is the aspect of the constant prayer. Mm-hmm. Because at Nashotah, they make us understand, seminarian, that prayer is very important in an ordained person's life. So they kind of like bred it in us that to understand that we need to do this. Without Christ, we will not be able to do this. So I love this about that. Nashotah make sure that we understand it's not all about academics. You have to have that spiritual aspect, and I love that about them. Any question, like.
Thank you for sharing your story, and I feel like throughout you described this ongoing curiosity that you have in whatever situation you're in. So I'm just wondering, now that you find yourself in Wisconsin and at Christ Church, what curiosity is part of your story right now, or what questions do you have right now?
Well, I don't know if I can actually say there's a curiosity, but I feel like what I'm doing right now, that's what God really put me in this earth to do. And I love what I do, and I want to share it to you guys exactly what Christ's love is all about. And yes, I want to, as I shared with Father Seth, it's just like I did not want to come to Christ Church just to be a seminarian, just somebody that wants something from Christ Church and to leave. But what I really want to do at Christ Church is really to be part of this family, to get to know you, to get to know your family. And so because I truly believe in the relationship aspect. And so we can all see me, but I see you as an extended family where we all love God and we are praising God together. And there's not so much curiosity, just what I want to give.
Well, we are right about at time. I'm on the Commission on Ministry for this diocese, and not to at all downplay the candidates that we have who come through that process. But if you were to have a candidate like Wes, who presents himself for ordination, you'd be falling all over yourselves to try to get this guy through the process to become a priest. And I knew a little of your story, but to hear it all laid out, especially that deep development work that you did in Honduras, man, the church could use about 100 of you. So, and for the record, when Wes said, "Could I be a seminarian here?" I was more than just, "I'll think about it." I basically reached across the lunch table and made him sign in blood that he was going to be our seminarian. So, an incredible gift to us. I look forward to kind of seeing all that you teach us and what kind of questions that we can answer for you in ministry. So why don't we thank Wes for giving himself today.
Thank you.